the night I almost met a serial killer. So, a little background here. My father was in the Army for 21 years, retired, and moved to a very small town in Central Florida. He got bored after a couple of years, and even though we didn't need the money between his retirement and what my mom made as a bookkeeper, he wanted to go back to work. He started working at various gas stations. It was a small town, so the owners didn't care if I helped him out, stocking coolers or running the register as long as I didn't sell any beer or cigarettes. This all took place in the late 80s and early 90s. The actual story I'm going to tell happened in 1990. I was 15, had just gotten my learner's permit, and my dad would let me drive him to and from work so I could get experience driving both day and night. One evening, I was sitting at my usual spot by the windows, book in hand, feet up, a Mountain Dew and some snacks on the table, when something unusual caught my attention. A lady was walking up our parking lot from the direction of the interstate. The gas station was right off I-75, and it was strange because you never saw anyone walking from that direction. I figured she must have broken down and was coming to use the phone to call for help. I was completely wrong. She came into the store, looked around a bit, and I immediately got this strange, creepy feeling about her. Then she walked up to the counter and told my dad that she'd gotten stranded and needed a ride to the next big town north, Ocala. My dad politely told her he was working and couldn't take her. She then turned to look at me. While she was looking away, my dad caught my eye and subtly shook his head. No, I was confused until she pointed at me and asked if I could give her a ride. My dad told her that I only had a learner's permit and couldn't drive her anywhere. Normally, I might have done it, even though it wasn't legal, because I'd done short drives before. But something about the situation felt off. I didn't argue with my dad. He was usually friendly with customers, but this time he was cold and dismissive. Later, he said he'd had a bad vibe about her from the moment he saw her walking up. She started cussing at him, and he finally told her to get out. She slammed the door so hard I thought the glass would break, then stalked off down the driveway. I watched as she made her way back up toward the interstate and disappeared onto the northbound ramp. Almost a year later, less than a week before my 16th birthday, I was in my room when I heard my dad yell from the living room, "Son, get your ass in here and look at this!" I ran in and saw him pointing at the TV. On the screen was a mugshot of that same woman. Turns out I had almost given a car ride to Aileen Wuornos, who would later be convicted as a serial killer and eventually put to death. To this day, I still have nightmares about what could have happened.